Well, out in Disneyland, the Madame Leota Somewhere Beyond Haunted Mansion gift shop has been met with its fair share of controversy as it was found out that the building that was the gift shop was a prefabbed building. And then inside of the gift shop, people online figured out that there was AI art being used in here, pieces you could find on Amazon and Redbubble, and just general run-of-the-mill things you could find in here that, in my opinion, years ago, when it came to Imagineering in Disney, wouldn't have been the case in a gift shop like this. But it seems there are further issues with this gift shop as it is undergoing repairs. So we're going to talk about this real quick. They got an article here from WWNT, and we're going to get some thoughts on it here. So hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic, and it says a new report from Disneyland Park. Madame Leota's Somewhere Beyond will be undergoing some construction near the outside of the building starting in February. In a new report, construction on the outside of Madame Leota's Somewhere Beyond will begin on February 3rd and is expected to last around a month. The construction will include replacing concrete on the east side of the building to improve water drainage in the area. The store's operations will be unaffected, but some exterior props or theming may be removed until the project has been completed. And we even have a post on here from former Imagineer Jim Schul, who says the failure to build the Haunted Mansion shop correctly, he says this is first-year engineering stuff, means the fix is a big old drenched drain in front of the doors. When you can't get this civil engineering 101 correct, hire new people. Now, whether or not this building was done by Imagineering or Disney marketing, there's been some people that have said Imagineering wasn't involved, but at the same time, Kim Irvine even come out and sort of defended the building, and I do think Imagineering was involved on some level with this building, but you're talking about very basic things that seemingly they cannot get right, because the issue with this building is that when it rains, it floods inside. You would assume these are things that you would account for when you're talking about engineering and architecture and things like that. And I think rightfully so, this is many people looking at Imagineering, what Disney creates and does, with a lot of question marks. I mean, look at Tiana's Bayou Adventure, both in Disney World and Disneyland. Those rides both having issues with it being reliable and operating without the animatronics working, without having issues on that ride. You look at the Epcot overhaul. Lots of people have been underwhelmed by the final product of that compared to the concept art. And really just in general, is Imagineering up to the task on the new things that they have announced that they're building? A lot of these things look great on paper, but the final product is something that I think a lot of people have questions about. Is that, are they going to deliver and be able to do the experiences like they've been able to in the past? And I think when you look at something like this, a simple building that doesn't drain correctly. I mean, one would assume, again, like Jim Schul said, this is basically engineering 101. Like when you're building a building, when it's going to rain, does it drain properly? Like simple things like this. And the fact that it's not being shut down, but they are going to have to work on this. And this building has already been a source of controversy for a lot of people in Disneyland. It's been pointed out again, the AI art and other things have been found inside here. So it's not a great look either way. I mean, again, it's not a huge issue. I'm sure they're going to be able to fix it, but it doesn't leave you with a lot of confidence in what Disney's able to do, especially in a time period where they're being pushed a lot by Universal. And look what they're doing with Epic Universe. And they've already announced things going into the existing park, something replacing Rip Ride Rocket. Like they're going full steam ahead. Seemingly their creative team is not only having fresh ideas, but they're delivering on those ideas. Meanwhile, with Disney, there are some questions about how this stuff is going to go when you look at the recent history and sort of like, well, let's wait and see how this goes. And I'm not saying that the things that they're building in Disney World aren't going to be great lands or great rides, but I'm very much in a wait and see mode because Disney does have a habit of sometimes the concept art does not match the final product. So a lot of these things that they showed at D23, I do wonder if it's going to end up looking like the final product, and then are we going to have a functional ride or rides in these lands? And again, we look over at Disney World. They recently, the part of the ceiling in Soarin' collapsed, and then you had the sewage leak that was just in that same building weeks before that. More than likely, that may have contributed to the part of that ceiling coming down. You've had the sewage leakage issues in Magic Kingdom and other parts of Disney World on an aging infrastructure. It just seemed from an Imagineering standpoint and really a park maintenance standpoint that things are not where they have been historically. And I really do hope that Disney gets a wake-up call at some point with these things and realize that they need to put more effort and energy into bringing people into Imagineering and maintenance in these areas that have a lot of talent. I think that it's undeniable that there's been a brain drain when it comes to Disney Imagineering, because a lot of the big-time Imagineers were either let go or essentially told to leave during the COVID period because they were expensive. So you've had a lot of experienced, seasoned Imagineers that worked on lots of projects have been gone. And a lot of people have talked about in the past that Disney Imagineering is much more of a project management team now than how it used to be, which was an innovative group of people that pushed boundaries and really tried new things. And it seems like a lot of these things are being outsourced potentially to Gensler and other architecture firms instead of being designed in-house. So it's just, again, one of these things where it doesn't necessarily mean that all the things that they're building are going to be bad. You know, when you have somebody like Jim Schul, who was an Imagineer for 33 years, bringing up these issues, I do think that's something you should listen to. He says hire new people that understand these things. I think that is something that Disney should be listening to and potentially getting people back in the fold that are going to push the envelope, that are going to be Imagineers how they used to be, really trying new things and willing to take risks. But on some level, I don't want to put it all in Imagineering, because I do think Disney corporate is much more involved on this side of things than they used to be. So it very much could be that there is still talent, or there's still people in Imagineering that would like to do certain things, but it could be the C-suite of Disney really holding them back or really controlling more things than they used to be. So it's hard to really know where, you know, what percentage is what. So I do think it's not maybe just on Imagineering, but also the C-suite and some of the corporate types being much more in control of ideas and building things than they used to be in the past. But yet again, I hope at some point Disney has a wake-up call with these things, between all the issues you're seeing at Disney World with some of that infrastructure, some of these things going on at Disneyland with this gift shop, that they get things back on track, especially during a time period when you got a lot of competition, especially heating up with Disney World and Universal Studios. And I don't really think they can afford for these new things that they're building to not be absolute home runs when you're dealing with what Universal is doing, and more than likely going to continue to do what they're doing and bring more things to their theme parks and really continuing to eat into market share. But for the time being, the Disneyland Haunted Mansion gift shop here is going to be, it's not going to be closed down, but they are fixing this drainage issue. It's likely to take about a month to do so. But either way, that's going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about the Haunted Mansion gift shop in Disneyland already needing repairs after it's barely been open a few months? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.